If you want to know how to build a battery, or if you're like me and you got screwed from buying 4 of these batteries, basically I bought 4 of these batteries. One of the BMSs, these things, went bad. But unfortunately, this company does not support their warranty if you buy it through Amazon. You have to buy it directly from their website to get the warranty. So what does a guy like me to do? When you have no warranty, you have 3 batteries which are good, 1 failed BMS. The cells are good, but the BMS is bad. What do? Easy. You tear open the batteries, you build your own. So if you guys want to know how to build a battery, stay tuned because this is the video for you. Yes, finally got my batteries to 100%. So that means I'm so happy I'm gonna have power tonight. I love this green bar because that means everything's working awesome. No! We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. These batteries drive me crazy. They go offline when they want to. So I had it enough of this today. I'm gonna rip this lid off. Look inside, wow. Stay tuned and watch the rest of this video and you're gonna see how I dismantle all the crazies. Yeah! Now, if this does not work, I'm gonna be out of power tonight. What I'm doing is I'm taking apart these batteries, taking the cells out of 3 perfectly good batteries, because only one of these is messed up. So I'm taking all the cells out. I'm going to get rid of using all 4 of the BMSs that come in these batteries. I'm going to be using my own BMS. So therefore I'm going to have like a one big massive battery bank. But I got to get this done. Hopefully I don't screw up, because if I do, that's about $1,200 worth of batteries. We are going to fix this problem. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? Now today I got something in the mail I'm going to be real excited about opening, installing, because this is a freaking game changer. I went and got me a JK BMS. This is a 16 cell, so this will be able to do the 48 volt battery. So basically I'm going to take the cells out of my 12 volt batteries and put them in one big battery. Of course, it's going to be freaking ugly, because I'm taking them out of individual cases, and now they're just going to be cells in open air in my shop. I do have plans in the future of maybe building some kind of box to put them in. That way, I can keep the dust and things like that out of my battery bank. So I do have that planned for another video. But today is all going to be about unboxing, opening, and harvesting the cells, hooking this thing up, kind of rough looking way just to get it up and running, basically to prove to myself that it can be done. So let me get the camera turned around, that way we can see what's in this box here. All right, here we go. Of course, this is in Chinese. My son knows Japanese, and I was trying to get him, but he couldn't read it because it was in Chinese. So let's see what all comes in this box. Instruction manual. Here's the BMS. This is actually kind of heavy, kind of big. All 16 cells for the balance leads. I don't have a screen, so I'm not going to be able to hook up the UART because I don't have a screen. I'm just going to depend on the Bluetooth settings. This should be the communications board. Everything else. Oh, it's the on-off button. All the balance leads. It's all 16 cells. It's like communications. And this is what's going to hook up to my inverter. The communications board. That's beautiful. Alrighty, well, I'm going to sit here and read the instructions a little bit. So of course I'm going to do that, off camera. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys, I want to show you how I get into this battery. I was using the heat gun for the first couple ones. This is the last one, and I found a good strategy. So I'm hoping I can duplicate it on this one. That way I don't have to use the heat gun, and I was able to get into my last one pretty quickly with just a screwdriver and a mallet. And I'm getting the screwdriver on this plastic piece, using this as a pry bar to pop up the lid. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of put my screwdriver here. I'm gonna try to get under this lid first. Then once I get under the lid, I can go down. There's a lid and a lip. So I'm trying to get the screwdriver into the lid so I can get under the lip and then just pry up on it. There, I'm under the lid. Now I'm gonna pull the screwdriver up, hammer it down so I can get under the lip. All right, I'm bottomed out. Now I'm gonna try to get under the lip. I can hear the tape, I can hear the glue start like making sounds. I'm not doing a lot, I'm just kind of slowly doing it to see if I can pop. There it goes. You just saw, I don't know if you saw it just pop right there. Now it's coming all the way down right here. All right, I got glue all the way from here to here. Now I'm gonna do this other side to get this side loose. The lid's already up, so I just have to get under the lip now. I bottomed out on the lip. Same thing, I'm gonna pry it up. Up. Screwdriver came undone from the, there we go. All right, now I got this side all the way done to about right here. So this whole side from here to here is already undone. Only thing holding it is the back side right here. There we go. Now, all they hold it is a little section right here. I should be able to do that with just my bare hands. Actually, what I'm gonna use a stick. I'm gonna put the stick underneath right here. And all I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna press down this side. This is gonna act like a lever to pop up this side. There we go. All right, now I'm just looking in the cells to make sure I don't see anything loose. Everything's nice and tight. I like how they put this actual, I was kind of worried that they would have spot welded the balance leads to the metal, but they actually got a mechanical screw going into the metal. I like that. I like how they got the the actual metal screw holding down the BMS leads. I'm looking also at these blue center pieces to make sure that nothing's popped out. The battery hasn't overheated. Everything looks great, except for being 280 amp hour cells. So I already showed you how to get the lid off. So I'm gonna show you what I do now. So I don't know if you can see the camera. Yeah, I've already got this one already done. This one is sort of done. I took this one out of the case. This one I just took the whole lid off, got all the connections disconnected. There was no risk of me shorting something out. So do the same thing to this one. Open it up, take out this foam piece, move off to the side like that. That way I can get to the positive battery cable. That way now positive is totally disconnected. I'll put the screw back on, and I'm going to disconnect the negative. That way I don't risk, touching anything, because now the battery is totally disconnected. But now I still got to disconnect this negative cable that goes down to the BMS. That way I can get rid of the lid. All I'm doing is just trying to shove my wrench onto the stud with all that goop on it. I can say these things are honestly torqued really well. There we go. And I'm going to harvest this off because I can always use these cables for something else. All right, now let's get this battery out of this case. There's nothing holding it in, so all I did to take this one out was I just flipped it upside down and pulled the bottom off. And that's all I did. There it is, empty case. And then put them in the existing holes. But the problem is I don't have any ring terminals today, so I made this for today. Just cut these and twist tie them on just so I can get this thing up and running. And then I'll order the ring terminals, that way I can crimp ring terminals on these leads right here. Cut a zip tie right here. That's all it's holding the BMS to the board is just a zip tie. And take these off, or just cut that. And just to be safe, I'll cut one at a time. I don't want to risk of shocking me. And cut the zip tie. There we are. Harvest BMS. Now I got to do everything else to all this other. Strip back the leads until I can get the ring terminals. All right, now I'm trying to get these things lined up the way I want them to be. I put some styrofoam down because I want these things to be off the ground a little bit. I don't want to be directly onto the concrete. Before I put the jumpers on it, because right now these are 12 volts separate. Problem is if I put the jumper on it, I'll be dealing with 48 volts DC. So before I start putting jumpers on these things to hook these two together, or I can use this, my negative and positive, just jumper, jumper, jumper. There we go. So I'm going to hook up the red, twist all those red leads together, the balancing leads right now, before I start making this into a 48 volt system. Keep it, better safe than sorry, right? All right, so here's the leads that goes to the batteries. As you can see, this one has a 1 on it right there. 1. Other one will have a 2, 3, and a 4. So I know this is for the first one because it has the battery temperature sensor. And the second one here goes to the ground. So that's the other ones don't have this ground. All the other ones do have the temperature sensor, but this is the only one that has a ground wire. And then the first battery be this one right beside the red. This be cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, and cell 4. So I can see, like if I wanted to start, right there, cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, and then cell 4. I just have to make sure I hook up the leads to the right one on the reds here. So that's what I'm doing now. I think I want this to be battery 1. So the first red will have to go straight to, no, let me think about this for a second. So since this is going to be cell 1, this is supposed to be my negative to go up to my inverter, and this is the positive. So I'm going to have to hook up to right here, which means I need to find out which one, this one right here. Got some electrical tape. I'm going to be coming back and redoing all these with the ring terminals. Just to get it up and running today, this is the way I'm going to do it. Because I plan on building a box so the battery is not just out here in, the open. But that's just for today. Cell number 2. Cell number 2 is this one right here. And then cell number. This to be fully contacted. Always put the ring terminal on top. That way the actual cable itself is actually making really good hard contact with the thing on the bottom there. Man, that's ugly. Go first. A 24-volt system. Now I'm going to hook this together. It's going to be a 36. So I'm just trying to keep my hands away. I don't want to touch anything that's going to shock me now because it's $54 volts. I got a new problem. The hot off of that battery pack I just built will go directly to my inverter, but the ground has to go to this first. Has to go here, and then this goes to the inverter. So what I plan on doing is using these leads which come off the other BMSs and hook these up right here. But my problem is these are the screws I took out. They won't fit through these little holes. So I'm gonna have to make these holes just a little bit bigger. That way I can use this on this board right here. To the battery, to the inverter, hook up my 4 pins here. That's for the communications port over there. That's about it. This is pretty much all hooked up. Now I just gotta hook it up. All right, so this is gonna be my positive. This one right here on this cell right here, and my negative is gonna be on this side over here. So the board, my BMS will hook to this cell from this side. All right, so that's hooked up. Here's all 3 of these will get together. Because the BMS is going to draw power off this last cell. Is this one right here. Ooh, red light. Oh, I forgot to hook up all these dang leads. Let's back off. Alrighty, I forgot to hook up the cell leads. This is number 2. Number 2 goes right there. One goes on the bottom. And number 4. Okay, now I've got all those leads hooked up. So as you just seen from that video, that kind of freaked me out when this BMS would not stay powered on. I had everything hooked up. I double, triple checked myself. I even came over here to the freaking instructions and look at the instructions, and it said somewhere something about the charger has to be hooked up and everything. So what I done was I couldn't find a freaking bolt to hook my negative cable up, so I just went over to my table saw, cut that out, so I can run these wires to the back side of that, this on the top side. I did all of that, and I still could not figure it out. I finally got into the settings, and as you can see, cell number 1 is not working. So I traced the wire, and you know what the freaking problem is? On this first one right here, there is a ground wire. You got the 2 that's taped up, then you have a ground wire. All I had to do was hook this ground wire up to right there, and now it reads cell 1 voltage. So now I have to find me a ring terminal to attach that to the negative, and that should be it. This has been a really interesting learning situation for me. I've learned so much about building your own battery by doing this, and I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here because this is probably gonna be a long video. I want to do another video on how to configure this JKBMS, and also I want to build my own battery box, and I think that'd be coming down the line. So guys, I love you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you again really soon, okay?